Hey Lego Fanatics, it's Zach The Lego Fanatic here, and today we'll be taking a look at the Lego Star Wars the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian. Now this set has 1,023 pieces and retails for $129.99 in the US, $130, and it's set number 75292. So first, let's take a look at those minifigs, and then we'll take a look at the Razor Crest itself. So the first figure you get in this set is the Mandalorian himself. Now this is the same one that is included in the ATST Raider, so nothing special about this one. Now I wish they would have included a Mandalorian in Beskar armor instead, which Lego has still not yet made yet. But it is known that we are getting another Mandalorian set next year, which is supposed to be a $30 set. And we know it's going to come out in February, and that's all we know. So I can't wait to pictures of that get revealed, because I can't wait to see if we get a Mandalorian Beskar armor. And hopefully a Quill too, because that's another figure I wish we would have gotten this set. We don't get a Krill, and that's like the scene that this is kind of based off. So anyway, I always liked the look of the Mandalorian figure. I feel like Lego did do a great job. Since I didn't do a review of the ATST Raider, because I think that was a little bit before I started my channel, and before I really started doing reviews anyway, so I'll just do a review of the figure now. So anyway, I think the helmet's good, because that's really the color, just gunmetal gray. There's no really designs on Mando's helmet, so I think they did a good job there. Then I think the head's okay. I understand why it's plain back, but I wish they would give you the option of a flesh-colored head that looks like Pedro Pascal, because that's the guy who plays the Mandalorian. So I wish they would have gave you that head kind of like with a mustache, because that's what he looks like. So that would have been cool, but I wish they gave it up. But I can understand why they had the black head, because, you know, Mandalorians don't take off their helmet, so you don't really see their face. But then this set was, came out after Mandalorian Season 1 ended, and we got a face reveal of the Mandalorian. So, they could have given you that option at least. Now, the cape, just the fabric cape, which I don't like. I wish they would have done it in the more soft fabric instead of this rough fabric that's more easy to like kind of like rip or tear. I don't want just soft, more flexible, and you can actually bend this. That one can't really bend. You can fit it backpack over. This one, it's harder to get a backpack over it. Just look at the printing here. Just see his armor plating on the back. The strap that goes over his shoulder that has more ammo, and his ammo/utility belt. So I always thought that looked nice. Pointy continues around the front. I like getting all the scratch marks and everything on, like in a different colored armor in certain places, and battle damage, always great. See more of the strap continues around the front, and the utility belt continues on the front too, along with the armor plating on the front there. Just autofocus this real quick. Just give me a sec. Yep, see right there. Then you got his like other rayer underneath. Then you got the brown arms, because that's the color. Now some people give like when they made a custom, they put a blue arm here, but it's only really the shoulder pad that would be blue. And if Lego did arm printing, that would be great, because then they could do it. But I still think even without that blue detailing, it looks great. Then on the legs there, see, it just got the two different colored knee pads, so I think that's good. So now let's get on to the next figure in the set. Also, like before we move on, forgot you do get Mandalorian Disintegrator Rifle, which we also do get in the ATST Raider. Same design there. Now, I wish it would give you like a small pistol, because Mandalorian always has a small pistol, but you could always take this piece, which is commonly used as a mirror piece, but it works good as a blaster, and it works kind of like a blaster that Mando would carry, so I like the look of it. And they always give you extra pieces of this in sets that have this, so you can very easily just go into one of those sets. Usually, some Lego City sets have it, so you can take that, use it as his little small blaster. So now let's move on to the next figure in this set. So the second figure you get in this set is Greef Karga. Now, I think Lego did a good job on this figure. Now, Greef Karga is the guild leader, and eventually goes on to be a friend of Mando and starts helping him out. First off, we'll start with the head. First, you just like, I call it the fin hair piece, because this is the same piece Finn uses. So if you take out the face, Greef Karga does have dual-sided face. This is a brand new face print, and it looks like a lot like the guy who plays, the actor who plays Greef Karga, which is Carl Weathers. So yeah, you like the mustache and the eyebrows, who looks kind of cool first. So this side got a smile on his face. This side he looks pretty upset. So probably somebody didn't bring back the bounty. Continuing on the front, starting with the front torso printing, we could see that he has the vest from the show. So you have a picture showing now. You can see how he has like that his cloak type thing he has. Cause it's kind of like a hangover coat that drapes down. It's too bad they didn't have printing on the legs where the coat type thing he wears, like, kind of, like, drapes down and prints down. Even if they even gave us a cloak type piece, because, you know, you can buy custom ones that are like that, like the jacket. But so far, Lego doesn't really make pieces like a cape piece like that. So maybe I can't wait to see the day when Lego does make us, but you could buy a custom one to put on. So you can see he got dual wielder pistols, just like in the show. Then the printing of that jacket type thing, it's because they didn't give you a piece like a K piece, they just printed it on. It continues around the back, see? And you can see part of the jacket that it doesn't cover. His vest underneath, and he got his belt, because he kind of has like a gun holster underneath underneath the thing, so that's why that has there, and that just also to hold some gear, and he got his belt. So I do like this figure. So now, let's move on to the next figure. So the third figure in this set is the Imperial Scout Trooper. Now this we have seen in another set, and that set was the Endor Action Battle Assault set. Now the only difference is the face, because in that set he had angry clone face. Now just I call this modest clone face, because they use this face in clone sometimes too. So modest clone face. It was in one of those battle packs that Geonosian one, the Geonosis battle pack with the Geonosian clone troopers. They had two of them had these faces. So modest clone face. So that's what they've been doing with the Imperial Troopers lately. They've been mixing up their faces to different flesh-colored faces instead of doing angry clone faces, which I do like that idea, because not stormtroopers and stuff weren't clones, they were humans. I always like this figure because the detail on these new versions of Scout Trooper is great, especially with this dual molded helmet. It's like really like a Chrome Iron Customs quality helmet, just like so many dual molding all over around the helmet. It's just great. The printing, it's really all spot on here, so I really like when they introduced that Scout Trooper in that set. So I'll put the helmet back on. So look at the front of the torso. It's got all the pouches and armor plating going around the black arms, because they don't have a full armor because they're scouts, and you got more printing around the back, more of the armor detailing, the same thing on the leg. It's just a really great figure, so I'm glad to have another one of these guys. I hope we see these Scout Troopers more often in more cheaper sets, and maybe more than just one in a set. Now I do wish also they would include a speeder bike in this set for the Scout Trooper, because the scene that's based off those two Scout Troopers like kind of like guarding Baby Yoda, because they captured him. So too bad they didn't give you a speeder bike for the Scout Trooper. So now let's take a look at the next figure. So now the next figure, actually no, you can't really call it figure. The next we got a droid in this set. So that's IG-11. Now this is the same body design as IG-88. So the only thing that's different from IG-88 is this face print over here. Is the face print over here? See, instead it's got those 3 eyes. That's based off IG-11. So it's not huge difference from IG-88. It's only a slight difference, but that just helps you to tell it's IG-11. Just like IG-88, he has that clip for the sniper rifle on his back. Then you also get just like IG-88, you do also get like a medium-sized blaster for him. Now you do get, it's just like a droid. There's the 2 different ways the arm turns, but I said I just gave him both straight arms so he could hold 2 blasters, kind of like in the show. Now this pouch does not come in the set. I just added this to IG-11 so he could hold Baby Yoda. See, you kind of have to take Baby Yoda actually off. You can just put his head there, and you can imagine his like bodies in there. See that? So you could do that. Now I'm gonna do another custom minifig showcase, but I could show you how to modify some of your figures from the Mandalorian to make them a little better. So if you want to know how this bag goes on, actually I'll show that in the other video. So I think they did. I wish that the only thing I don't like about the IG-1 figure is that the bodies just looks too much like a battle droid. Wish Reggie would make different part, like a body part, like a different torso type piece for the assassin droids. So now let's move on to the final figure in this set. So the final figure in this set is the child, or better known as Baby Yoda. Now I'm really shocked we actually got this in a set in 2020, because I thought if anything, we weren't gonna get a Baby Yoda to 2021. I think they did a good job. See, starting in the torso, well, not really torso, because again, just like a regular, same pieces as a regular baby. See, same torso, just that the hands are green. It has different printing. It's a new color. It's in tan. So you got the printing of like he's wearing, how Baby Yoda wears that little robe type jacket thing there. So you see the detailing of that. I think they did a great job on the head. See how it's got the texture that like Yoda's species. We don't even know what Yoda's species is called, but see, just you got that what's it called? The texture on the head. Then you got the eyes, which came good. They look so cute. The black with the white pupils, and he's got the slight smile. Now he got a smile. You see his mouth and slight like mention of his nose, and you got his ears, and this is the rubber. This is rubber, so this is not plastic. So you kind of it's a little bit flexible to ears. See, kind of bend that. Then the back, you look closer, you could see the Lego logo, which I'm waiting for the camera to autofocus so you can see that. I don't think you can make it out, but there's the Lego logo there, so you know it's Lego. See, shut this off. So you can see without the flash. I'm just going to show you, see. And I think the colors are accurate. And I think the one in the... this is the same as the one you're going to get in the $80 Ultimate Collector Series Yoda. Now, the only thing I think is like they actually made this color of the body piece slightly different. Even though Baby Yoda looks a little like fat around the back, that's fine because that's how the regular baby piece looks. And I do like how they didn't go out of the way to make a whole different new like body piece for Baby Yoda, because you know it should be the same scale to other babies that Lego has made. So I do like that. So now remember, stay tuned for that video on how to modify some of your Mandalorian figures. Now, I don't know if you consider these figures, but some other things you get in this set, you get these two carbonite things. Now, I wouldn't really consider these figures, but these mini carbonite things, which are brick built instead of on like Han Solo and carbonite. So it's just a block. It's a block with a sticker and a tile on top. That's the thing. So then you can put these in the ship, which I'll show you when we take a look at the Razor Crest itself. So you get one that has a human frozen in carbonite and one that has an alien bounty, because like I mentioned this later on in the video too, but you know Mandalorian, and we only see he has a carbonite chamber on the ship, which we only see used in episode 1 of season 1. We never see him use it again, but you know he froze his bounty so they wouldn't escape. That's an alien one. So anyway, now let's take a look at the Razor Crest itself. So now that we have taken a look at the minifigs, let's take a look at the Razor Crest itself, which is the only build in the set. So anyway, we'll start with the front and I'll work our way to the back. But before I do that, I just want to mention that there is 2 minifigs that I added into the ship just for review purposes of the video, just to show like what fits inside that are not included in the set. And there is a few very, very slight modifications I made. I think there's only like 2 I made, and there's like 1 or 2 pieces I added. So I'll mention those when I do it, but it's very hardly noticeable, but I'll mention them. So anyway, starting from the front here, we'll start with the cockpit. So the cockpit is very easily removable. You just tug on this handle here, but if you like, you to shake the ship around, it will hold up. But it's not that loosey, but it's not that tight on either. So as you can see, you can fit 2 figures and Baby Yoda in the cockpit. So you see, I put Cara Dune, the Mandalorian, and Baby Yoda. Now Cara Dune is not included in this set. She's in the ATST Raider. So moving the figures, you can see there is 2 seats for them. I'll just tilt the ship up here. You see, besides that, the 2 seats, there's only a control panel, so it's not really much else. It's a shame that it wasn't some more control paneling detailing here, but that would have most likely been stickers. But it's still a pretty decent cockpit. Now, if you're wondering why if that works weird, it's because usually I move the piece back here. But usually, this grill piece is right here. But basically what I just took it off and moved it back there. Because then it allows you to fit Baby Yoda, like guys, if you saw before, in the cockpit without... See, with plenty of room to spare, because it still fits everything's nicely in there. And you don't have to worry about ruining your fig, because the glass this piece does not rub up against Baby Yoda. Now, I know Baby Yoda, he's the correct name for him is a child, but I'm just going to refer to him as the child throughout this video. So now behind the cockpit, there is a small little storage area for weapons. So now this is not included in the set. It's just a little pistol. Like it's not really made to be a pistol, but it's just like a piece I like using for Mando's pistol. I like a few of these as extra pieces. So that's like for weapons. The thing it shows like on the back of the box is like you can put this here, but I mean, I can just have... But since I added a modification here, you can't put the big blaster, and actually, there's another spot you can put this, but, you know, it's intended to put Mando's, disintegrator rifle in there. So anyway, that's cool. There's a little... They thought it had 2 clips there for 2 weapons, so you can put IG-11's blaster in there, too, along with Mando's. So moving on to the sides of the front here, they both unfold, so we'll start with the right side first, depending on what angle you're looking at it. So I'm going to turn on my flash so you could see inside, guys. So looking inside, you could see that's Mando's little sleeping area, like in the show. Now I just put that toolbox and this axe in here, just to put some storage, you know. But that's where he sleeps, and usually they would get the thing in the show and make like a thing where Baby Yoda can sleep and Mandalorian sleeps underneath him. But obviously you can't fit that in here, like a thing like that, because this is a small area, but it's very snug enough where you could just very easily take the Mandalorian. You can just very easily do that. Just got to be careful with the cape. You can't really attach them on. If you have the cape, you kind of would have to pull the cape back a little bit. See how it's covering it up, but you can see very just fits in there. You can stud them down if you want, but you don't have to. That's nice. And then, like I said, if you can see before, you have the sticker details of like some parts of the ship that are exposed, and something like some kind of like a storage tank. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of a little microwave or something there. But that's pretty cool how they included that, because that is in the show, just not in that exact spot. Then obviously just a gun on the outside. Now on the other side, in that same spot, it's kind of like a weapons thing. Now, in the instructions and on the box, it just shows you put all 3 missiles in. You only get 3 missiles. It shows you take these out and you can store them here. So I stored the extra missile here, and Cara Dune's weapon, and Mando's disintegrator blaster. Now, just to show you, I just want to tell you that this blaster is not in the set, because Cara Dune's not in the set, like I said it before. But anyway, you can use it as a weapons rack, or you can use it just to put all the missiles in here if you don't like the missiles in there. But I think that's pretty nice, because he does have a weapons rack on his ship, so I just used it as a weapons rack instead of to store extra missiles of the quick-fire missiles. So that's pretty cool. You got those areas. Then we also, on both sides, you got the 2 doors here, with the loading doors, how they get onto the ship. So you got one on the other side too. So you got both doors there. They come down. Now moving on to the interior. So then we'll go to the top from then. So as you can see, the whole interior opens up. You got the back door, which is in the show. That's where it opens up. So these spots here, these 2 doors on either side, see, and the back door, the only door that's actually supposed to open in the show, but Lego, you can actually open the sides too, just to give you more playroom and accessibility to the inside. So inside, the only real thing that's built back here are these little carbonite pieces. Now, they're obviously not the molded carbonite piece, because then they would have to make 2 molds that are just for the set. So I'm going to shut off my flash so you can kind of see this a little better. The camera autofocus here. So you see, it's just like one of the bounties he caught. That's supposed to be a person, because even the first episode of The Mandalorian, it shows that he has a carbonite chamber on board his ship, and then he freezes his bounty so they don't escape while he's transporting them back to collect his money. So you can see that's another one that's more like an alien creature. I don't know if you could see it, but see, I'm gonna have it autofocus there. See, alien creature. But still, even though with the sticker detailing, it's pretty nice, but too bad they didn't print it, but you can't expect that much. Even though it is a $130 set, it would have been nice to print it, like I said. But then you can fit those both in nicely right over here. See? They both go in like that. You just gotta snug them in there. And it's nice and snug so they won't fall around, because there's that stops them from going further, like when you're flying the ship around. So I'm just gonna take those out so you could see more. So then otherwise else there's just like space to put minifigures and I guess gear inside the Razor Crest. As you can see, I put Grief Cargo, which is included with the set, IG-11, which is also included in the set, and then my custom version of Quill. So we can take a quick look at him if you want. See, you can obviously fit like more minifigures in here, but I just put 3 in here. Well, his goggles are off, but he had the goggles on his head. That's my Quill. Just took a Lego Argonaut, added the bag, put some random piece in there, and put the goggles on his head, which just fell off a second ago. So I'm just going to put them off to the side now. Continuing on with the interior, we could see, so now, in the interior, see, and there actually is room, because if you look all the way up, I really like how there is room for IG-11 in certain spots, from about the end of there to here. There is room, because there's enough headspace, because I thought, at first, that from the way I looked at it, I thought, oh no, IG-11's not fitting here unless you sit him down, which I thought was a shame. But I really think I like how the designers put that into play where you can actually stand up in there. Now, I did add this bag to IG-11. I mentioned that when I talked about the minifigures. That's to, of course, hold Baby Yoda, that's to hold Baby Yoda. So in here, that's Grief Cargo in there. And then I actually added this as a modification. I did put this ladder to give the illusion that the minifigures could climb up to the cockpit. As you can see, up here, gotta remove the cockpit for a second. You look up, see, the ladder, you can't really get a minifigure to climb up there because it's such a small space, but you see that, can't really get a minifigure to climb up there. But there you get the effect, which I think was pretty cool. So I basically just I turned actually this piece around in the instructions with the clips where I just switched it around and I added the ladder in using this piece here, the 1x2 with the clip area, so you can clip things on. So you can very easily make that modification to your Razor Crest if you have those 3 pieces. So that's the interior. Excuse me, now moving on to the top. Here, this is actually an escape pod now. We don't have mention of the escape pod in the show, and we don't see it in the show, but I worked out a picture, so picture's showing now. If you look at this picture in the book, it says that this is an escape pod, So there is an escape pod in the show. But just, we haven't seen it yet, so maybe we'll see it used eventually. But it's mentioned in the book that there is an escape pod, so it does, and it blends in nicely with the ship. Like, so if you just put it in this empty space, it does, like, it looks like part of the ship if you wanted to know it's an escape pod, but it's a pretty nice escape pod here. Now, to get a minifigure inside, you just take this off. Now, we're just going to take Cara Dune, which is not included in the set. Put her in there, so you just take the minifigure down like that. Clip the legs on there, so that's what's holding them on. And then you close it out like that. See? Well, actually, she won't fit in here because of her hair, but there, that should see that fits. Now, it would snap on, but just because of her hair, that's why it's not. Then you can see the minifigure's face through the little window, per se. Then it has the two thrusters over here, but really, there's nothing on the inside. See? Just the spots to clip down the figure. But it does look a pretty nice design. I do like it. And then if you look at the space where it is, this is how it clips on. That right there, those 3 spots. Can't really see it, can you? See those 3 here? That's the only spot it clips on, so it very loosely comes off. And sometimes it clips onto those, but you should keep it on when you're flying ship around, because then it just looks like it has a hole in the roof. Because too bad there wasn't a plate there that kind of like covered the interior, so if you take this off, you could still kind of fly it around. But that's okay. Me looking also on the top, I like how they have the vent details going all around. Just put this back in first. See, this is all nice here. Very roof, just a pretty nice design around there. And taking a look at the sides, if we were to fold up the wall, very smooth, like how there's limited studs, especially in this part here. And it just all fits together, like, all very snugly when you fold everything up. So I gotta fold the other side up here. So you want everything folded up, it looks really nice. And then when you look at it, like at this angle, that's a really nice angle. And I think it's even big enough, depending on what kind of speeder, like, you have, what Star Wars speeders you have, you can actually fit some of them actually inside the back of the ship. You could obviously fit those crates, so that's great. There's a lot of interior room, which I'm really happy about. And now with the engines, here's the engines. I think they look very realistic to the ones on the actual Razor Crest, and they came out really nice. Now this design I like here, because when they case around the engine, that's really good. Like the design method of this was just really great. I like the build of this whole engine. Now the only thing that I'm kind of disappointed about is back here. See? Kind of not really a fan of this because it just kind of looks weird with, I mean, not like it really does off, but it just really had to decide to use these, like these, I almost call it bow, like those very wide buckets. Where you take from the old days. That's kind of, it does, I mean, it looks kind of weird depending if you know what the piece is actually used for in other sets. But if you don't think about it like that, it does look pretty nice. I mean, there's other pieces that could have made it look better, but it still gives it that nice effect of the engines, and I really do like how these engines came out. Really, like, the ship's all smooth all around, like the cannons. It really has a great look and looks very accurate to the one in the show. I also did forget to mention the skis. You see, you get the skis, the landing skids, right there, lands perfectly. Just move this piece out of the way here. Also, some bad things about this set, I would say, are again that mostly everything is stickers, especially this. This is really hard to put on, to put it on right and make it look right because of stickers. So it would be nice to the print because you have to actually wrap it around the half-cylinder piece, which is kind of bad, which I didn't like doing because it was very hard to make it look right. But you know, most Lego things are stickers, so I mean, I didn't really expect anything to be printed. But again, I always usually say this: I wish certain parts were printed, but then the set would be a little more expensive, I could assume. But besides that, I like that there wasn't that many stickers as some other sets would have. So that was a good thing. So now we'll take a look at the instructions. Well, I can't show you the box because I drew it out already. So now I'll give you my final thoughts. But first, let's take a look at the instructions. So taking a look at the instructions here, they just have the set itself on the front with QR code if you want to do it digitally on your phone, the Mandalorian logo. It's the same thing how it shows on the front of the box. It has Mandal there too. So, in Beskar armor, that's another thing I'm disappointed about. I mentioned this before when I talked about, I wish it was Mando in his Beskar armor, but hopefully we'll get that in that new Mandalorian set that's supposed to be $30 and coming out next year in February. So now here in the back, just has some advertisements for the summer, those summer 2020 sets, and also the ones that came out in the beginning, around the January-February wave, and that's the new August wave. Then he just showed you all those minifigures from the newer summer 2020 sets, which are not really new anymore. Then it just has here the code, the Skywalker Saga, and the code to unlock the Razor Crest in the game. And I think it's the same code for every single thing, so it's not like an exclusive code. So people will probably just be posting it online eventually when the game comes out. Then it just shows you things about the set. So anyway, now let's get to my final thoughts on the set. Now my final thoughts on the set. Now I think the price. First, start with the price. I mean, the price is okay. Now depending on how you look at it, $130 might be worth it, but sometimes maybe it's not. Like some things that would made it more worth the $130 would have been Mandalorian in his beskar armor, maybe a Quill figure. But I remember reading an interview that Brick Set did with. They said that we're probably going to get a Quill figure next year because the design said some things take long, some molds take longer to make. But I mean, yeah, because this set came out earlier, so to make it come out when it did, we didn't get a Quill figure, but that's okay. We got IG Weapon, we got Grief Karga, we got a Baby Yoda, and just a child, which is the most important part there. Because I've been really wanting a child figure. And I think they did a great job. All the design elements from the ship look great. It looks great from all angles. There's no angle where it looks weird because the inside is showing from some part. They did a great job with the escape pod effect. Looks like it blends in perfectly with the design of the ship. The cockpit's perfect. You can fit 2 figures and the child. Great. You have more. You got that they put in these 2 areas, which are in the show. They put in a somewhat weapons rack and an area for man of the sweep. And you can't even tell that would be there unless you pull these down, which is great. Cannons look great. Love all the interior space on the inside. That's great. Then you got the doors, which are accurate. You got the doors on the side and the doors on the back. Everything I said, really accurate. I like it. So now let me know your thoughts on this set in the comments below. And if you picked this up or if you're thinking about picking this up. Also, again, like that window piece since it's printed. Really good. Just that, again, that cockpit, great. So anyway, I've been Zach The Lego Fanatic. I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching. Hope you guys continue to stay safe and healthy. And let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you're not yet ready to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and comment below your thoughts on the set. Zach out!